Sao Paulo, third largest city on earth, you're going to have crime. And there is a lot of crime. Okay. Missionaries have a lot of protection. That badge, I honestly feel protected me a lot of the time. If you go into a favela, where most criminals live, if you have a purpose there, you're going to be just fine. They don't mess with the missionaries. They understand why you're there, and they appreciate you being there. They take their family seriously, and so if you're there to help someone's mother, if you're there to help someone find God, that's great, and they'll leave you alone. But if you are there out of place, and they can sense like, this guy doesn't belong here, he's up to something, that's where it gets a little dangerous. So always be there with the task. Always be on task. If you're doing your job like you're supposed to, you should always be going somewhere, and so you'll be just fine. And the Lord protects His missionaries. I never felt scared for my safety on my mission. It's not to say I wasn't in some scary places, but I never ever felt afraid for my safety. If you follow the rules. Avoid dark alleys. Don't take shortcuts at night. Missionaries will be robbed, but it is a standard procedure. Everyone's robbed in Brazil. Everyone gets robbed. It's just a normal thing. There's this long-standing joke in Brazil where people say, everyone's a thief. I'm not a thief just because I haven't had the opportunity yet. If I had one, I'd be a thief too. That's what all the Brazilians say. It's kind of cynical, but it's funny. The best thing to do is just give them what they want. You have to remember that it is not the place for heroics, because your heroics will be wasted. A lot of these bandits or robbers, they are drug addicts. Drugs are a large problem in Brazil, and they already are to the point where they're not rational thinkers. And so they don't see you as a person, they just see you as means of getting what they need. And if you don't provide that, you place yourself in danger, because they will not sympathize with your situation because they are past feeling. So you just hand over what they want and let them go. Because a lot of times they're past that point where they'll understand what you're saying. So just give them what they want and they won't hurt you. Gangs in Brazil, they don't bother the missionaries that much, because you're not a threat to them. You'll meet people who have been involved with it. One of the best men I met on the mission was an ex-gang member, who turned his life around completely. He was the executive secretary. One of the most Christ-like people I know. But the gang activity is real, but it's not really a danger to the missionaries. So the moms don't need to worry about any of that. You need to be careful with locking your doors and your windows. Missionary houses are sometimes robbed by a careless missionary. Leaves a window open. Someone will go in there and steal your stuff. Church gates, lock them. For district meetings, once everyone is in, you close and lock those gates, and you close and lock the door. I learned that lesson the hard way my last transfer. I'd made it 2 years and I had never been robbed, and I was really proud of that fact. And we had a district meeting. I was a zone leader, and we had the whole zone in, and we were waiting for people to file in, and the last 2 people didn't close the gate. And as we went behind in the back classrooms to have our meeting, I left my bag out, and there was someone from the street, is probably an addict, that entered into our chapel. And the Lord protects His missionaries, and so we were all in another room, but the man entered into the chapel, stole my bag, stole my camera, stole my jacket, stole my pictures, stole my... I had my scriptures with me, actually, which was a huge blessing. And he stole the birthday cake that we got for the new sister. It was her first day in the field, and it was her birthday, and so we all sacrificed and pitched in to buy this cake. The guy stole it. He stole the whole cake. Who steals cake? So that was how I learned the importance of always closing and locking the gates. Safety-wise, stay with your companion at all times. Don't accept rides from people. Don't do it. There are some places in like the interior where there are some long dirt roads that will go into like what seems like a jungle, like how most people think of Brazil. At night, don't go into those places. Okay, stay in lit areas. I say don't do it, but I've done it, but don't do it. Where someone will be like, oh, I'm a member, where you going? If it's a church member from Reward, then yeah, take the ride, that's great. But there are a lot of less actives who are a little weird about the church, and there are some bad situations you can get into. our assistants accepted a ride from a stranger, and he turned out to be actually quite a threatening individual. And thanks the quick thinking of one of our assistants, he was able to convince the man to stop, and they ran out of the car. My mission president was not happy when he heard about that. But it's just a dangerous thing when you think about how many people live in that city. Just don't accept rides from strangers. That's basic common sense. For me, nothing bad ever happened. But I know of other situations where things have not gone well for people to accept rides, so just avoid that. Other safety things, pay attention to the Spirit. You'll know when you need to be out of a situation. You'll be able to sense when you're there to help a person and when that person is not ready for help and he's a threat to your safety or the safety of someone else. So you'll be able to judge that. And like I said, don't worry about it. I never felt in danger on my mission. I don't know anyone that was hurt on my mission. People get robbed, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just kind of a standard procedure. So don't worry about it. Just trust in the Lord. Be safe. Follow the white handbook. Stay with your companion at all times. Be careful at night. Be careful with favelas at night and during the day. And just trust in the Lord, and I think you'll be just fine.